in a lot of militaries, there is no representation for atheists. There just isn't. But that's changing with the latest one being Dr. Jason Heap, who's going to serve as a secular humanist chaplain. I know that sounds kind of weird, in the Navy, despite having been rejected previously. One of the people who have been trying to keep him out is a conservative, George Rassley. He said that getting Dr. Jason Heap into the military is like putting a militant atheist in there. Okay, what is a militant atheist exactly? I mean, someone who, reads and asks questions. I guess that's a militant atheist, But anyway, he had quoted somebody else by the name of Eric Baxter, and which is with the Fund for Religious Liberty. That's how the religious people are. They want religious liberty for themselves, but for nobody else. Now, he added on there, Dr. Heap is a part of the Humanist Society of American Humanists Association. And Baxter noted that they sued over war memorials with religious symbols, calling them foul and sectarian. Now they want the phrase "under God" out of the pledge. They oppose the National Day of Prayer. They celebrate kids without God, pushing public campaigns that mock teens of faith for having imaginary friends. All right, let me just comment on some parts here. Now, where they say they want the religious symbols, calling them foul, well, they are foul because the cross is a torture device, okay? And the phrase "under God" was never originally in the pledge. That didn't get added in until the 1950s. So that should be removed. Actually, it should never have been added to it. But that's because of the Red Scare back in the early 50s. That's the only reason why it was added on there. And the National Day of Prayer. If you want to pray, you have 365 days a year to pray. You don't need a National Day of Prayer. And celebrating kids without God, okay? And mocking not just teens. Okay, I mock everybody saying that if you believe in a God, then you're imaginary sky friend, or imaginary sky wizard. So what's the big deal? Honestly, the fact is that when you have an atheist in the military, he has no one to go to. I mean, he could go talk to a psychiatrist, but that looks bad on your record. They need someone else that they can speak to. Like with the military people, they can go to the chaplain and they have some personal counseling sessions with them. And that doesn't go on their military record, as far as I know. With a atheist humanist in there, he can do the same things as the priest, quote unquote, would do, only without all the extra religious nonsense being added on. Atheist Ranger, your thoughts?
I think this man's clearly just, I guess envious is the word, that he can't brainwash by himself anymore. Not that an atheist would brainwash anyone, but yeah, I think he's just obviously envious. And as you touched on, what the man's comments about, under God being in the pledge, I've actually looked that up. I think that was added in specifically 1953, and it was added to the Red Scare. It was not the original national anthem. I'm just tired of it, okay? I'm very glad this happened, but I'm tired of these idiots claiming persecution when, honestly, this is a pluralistic nation of religions. We are a nation of 1,000 faiths. Honestly, we would probably be better without any of them, but we are a pluralistic nation when it comes to religion, so he needs to get over it.
Yeah, I just want to add something. I just looked that up just real quick there, that it was actually in 1954. You're only off by a year. I mean, I said the 50s, so I gave it a blanket year.
Yeah,
it should not have been added in to begin with. So, Matt, your thoughts?
Well, I think this guy's just butthurt, more or less. I mean, that's pretty much what it sounds like. He doesn't want that person in because, oh my God, he's an atheist. He's going to ruin everything. He's going to brainwash everybody. Come on now. Really?
I think it's deeper than just that. I mean, they have a majority, in the military because they think it's their domain. Of course, religious people think that everything is their domain.
Well, I mean, it's not only that. There's also, I mean, back in the Clinton era when Clinton was allowed gays in the military, but don't ask, don't tell. And then Obama cut that out.
Mm-hmm.
And when Trump didn't want transgendered people in the military, people were like, oh, wait a minute. We can't do this. People need to be allowed in there. So at least they're allowing other people that weren't in there in the military. And, atheist is just another thing.
Yeah. Now, I do want to point out something which is kind of ironic. Raisy points out that the courts have confirmed that denying service members access to chaplains would violate both the Establishment Clause and the Free Exercise Clause of the U.S. Constitution. Irony right there. first off, they're not denying anybody by saying that you don't want to have a humanist in there to have that position. You are doing exactly that. You are denying the free exercise clause and you're violating the establishment clause by doing that. You're not violating it by adding that person. And what's secondly funny about that is that when religious people deny atheists or any other religion, they don't even worry about the establishment clause, especially when it comes to government or whatever. They're fine with it then. But when it feels flip-flopped on them, oh, the establishment clause, the establishment clause. Oh, give me a fucking break.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's the same in the Bible Belt. I mean, how many times have we seen news segments about, maybe a history class teaching, Islam in a historical sense, and all of a sudden you see on Fox News, well, schools are teaching Islam indoctrination. I'm like, shut up. No, they're not. Okay.
Yeah. This guy is just so full of shit. I mean, if we have an atheist chaplain, whatever that is, in the military, which is just a humanist who wants to give comfort and do the same thing that a chaplain would do, only without faith. I have no problem with it. I don't see why we should have any kind of problem with it at all.